Hi, and welcome to Best in Tesla. So, Tesla is about to turn on the light on the Berlin factory. We have been talking about it a lot, but I never really understood what a huge move this is from Tesla. We know it will produce 2 million cars when fully ramped up and built out, but we are always talking about it going to be a part of Tesla's global sales, and it of course is, but it is actually the wrong way of looking at this factory. The Giga Berlin factory is a masterpiece of a chess move from Tesla that will shock the entire European auto industry. Let me show you why, and let's dive right in. So, the Berlin factory will build 2 million cars when fully ramped. We all know that. But one thing I think we kinda have forgotten is that this factory will not be exporting any cars overseas. China is Tesla's export hub. Berlin will only make cars for the European market. That will of course free up a lot of production for the Model Y in China to actually be sold in China, or they can export even more to countries like Australia, New Zealand, Japan, and so on. So that is great, but Berlin will reach 2 million cars in production to sell in only Europe. Well, this will not just put Tesla in the front of the EV race. This will put Tesla in front of everything. So we're not talking about EVs here. We know Tesla will crush it as the biggest EV maker. This factory alone will produce more EVs than that were sold in all of Europe in 2020. But we are comparing Tesla to other car companies. ICE or EVs or ICE and EVs combined, doesn't matter. So let's take a look at just how much 2 million cars are compared to what the big boys are doing. Well, this single factory will be able to produce about 15 to 20% more cars than Audi sells globally. Audi produces and sells about 1.6, 1.7 million cars globally per year. But Audi actually uses 19 factories in 12 different countries to do so. And Tesla will, with this one factory, produce 15 to 20% more cars than Audi does with its 19 factories. But the important thing here is not that this single factory will make Tesla bigger than Audi. No, the important thing is that 1.6 million is Audi's global sales. In Europe, Audi only sells a little over 800,000 cars. Just like BMW and Mercedes that globally both sells about 2.3 million cars, but in Europe they only sell about 800 to 900,000 cars per year. So Tesla's one factory here that would only sell cars in Europe will produce more cars than BMW and Mercedes European sales combined. And we are not talking about EVs, we are talking about any kind of car. Tesla will be 20% bigger than BMW and Mercedes combined in Europe as a car brand because of this one single factory. Okay, let's take one of the world's biggest boys when it comes to car manufacturing, Toyota. They make between 9 to 10 million cars per year. Sure, but how big are they in Europe? Well, Toyota does actually not sell much more than about 800,000 cars in total in Europe. So Tesla will become much more than twice the size of Toyota in Europe with this single factory. Okay, let's take the biggest boy in Europe then. Who is that? Well, that is of course Volkswagen. They are the biggest car brand in Europe, so how much does the Volkswagen brand actually sell in Europe every year? And let's not take the 2020 number because Volkswagen was actually down about 23% in 2020, so let's go with the 2019 numbers. Well, Volkswagen sold about 1.7 million cars in Europe. 1.7 million. So Tesla, with this single factory, they just came in and swooped into Europe and built within 1.5 years, and are now ready to start the long ramp up to make this car reach its max capacity of 2 million cars per year, making Tesla the biggest car brand in Europe. This is nuts. Tesla is doing this with a single factory. Of course, this will take years. Like Elon said, ramping up production takes longer than building the factory itself. It is extremely hard. And this was only the phase 1 of the factory. But Tesla is getting extremely good at this. The Model Y in China now has a production run rate of about 580,000 annually, which only took about 1.5 years to get to. So I have no doubt that the Tesla Berlin will be able to get to an even higher run rate in Berlin with 2 Giga casting pieces instead of just 1 that they do in China, and have many more casting machines as well, and much more new technology. So for the Model Y to become the best-selling car of any kind in Europe will not take long, because the best-selling car in Europe right now is the Volkswagen Golf that sells about 285,000 units per year, and within the next 1.5 years Tesla will produce over 500,000 Model Ys only for the European market. This is nuts. And Tesla is building its own battery at the Berlin factory that will be able to produce something like 200 to 250 gigawatt hours per year. This is actually enough for about 2.6 to 3.3 million Model 3s and Ys. So Tesla will have an excess of batteries at the Berlin factory to produce its 2 million cars, which is the max capacity of the factory. But will there be a demand for 2 million Teslas? Yes, I very much believe so. Also because even though this ramp up of the Berlin factory will probably take something like 4 years from now, so Tesla will probably not get to the 2 million cars before 2025. But just remember, no one else has a plan to bring a lot of EVs on the road before that. Even Volkswagen only has a plan for about 1.5 million in 2025, and that is globally. So just like now, Tesla sells every car they make, and I do believe they will continue to do so, especially here in Europe, where the demand for EVs are very, very high and will only increase, and Tesla will be the only one that will have something close to the supply to meet this demand. So they will just keep selling every single car they make. That will also mean that Tesla will steal market share in Europe and even become bigger than Volkswagen has ever been in Europe. They will become the biggest car brand Europe has ever seen. And just with this single factory. Wow, what a bullish move from Tesla. After finishing their Shanghai factory and finding new ways of making their next factory even more efficient, and probably found out that they could make factories that could produce well over 1 million vehicles per year, and then thought, well, let's make a factory in Europe that can produce more cars than even the biggest car brand in Europe. Wow, what a move. No wonder Volkswagen held a crisis meeting talking about how big a threat the Berlin factory is, because, as Volkswagen said, the Model 3 is 3 times faster to produce than the ID3, and remember, they do not earn a lot of money on their EVs yet. Volkswagen said they don't earn anything, but someone like UBS that tear down cars believe they do, so maybe they do, but it's not much, so let's just say they earn maybe $1,000 per car. Well, that also means that Tesla earns about 10 times as much on their Model 3 than Volkswagen does on their ID3, and build them 3 times faster. But now, with the Berlin factory, they will produce the Model Y probably 10 times faster than the ID3, and that car will have an even better margin, with 2 Giga casting instead of 1, and with the new battery cells when that comes along, the 4680 cell, that will cut the price of the battery alone in half, which will save Tesla something like $3,500 to $4,000 on the battery pack alone. So that car will be 10 times faster to produce and probably 15 times more profit than Volkswagen's IDs. And this single factory will be spitting out 2 million of these cars already in 2025 to only the European market. Long before Volkswagen gets to 2 million EVs globally. They don't even have a plan for 2 million EVs globally in 2025. Volkswagen will never catch up with this. And just remember, we're only talking about Europe. We're not talking about the Shanghai factory that will get to 1 million in production, maybe more. Not talking about the Fremont factory. Elon just said they will try to ramp up to 1 million as well, probably by making the cars with both front and rear casting, both the Model Y and the 3, which will save Tesla about 600 robots, which will free up a lot of space. And we are not talking about the world's biggest factory that will come online this year as well in the US, that will be able to produce over 3 million cars when fully ramped up. No, we're only talking about Europe, a little factory that produces as much cars as someone like Audi uses 19 factories to do. What a crazy move from Tesla. This factory will be a turning point for the European car market. This single factory will make Tesla the biggest car brand in Europe. So even if we go 10 years out, someone like Audi and BMW is not even 100% EVs by then. But combined, they will not even make as many cars as Tesla will 5 years earlier in Europe. This kind of blows my mind, just how dominating this factory will make Tesla in Europe long before any one of the other automakers will have a significant amount of EVs on the road, meaning Tesla will just have an endless demand for their electric smart cars. This is what someone like Volkswagen should do. Stop retrofitting all their old factories that will only make sure they will never be able to produce cars as fast as Tesla. It is a big advantage for Tesla that they get to build their factories from the ground up and really think about manufacturing from a first principle point of view and just make the production so much better and faster, just like we see with Tesla in Fremont. Even though they're implementing some of the things they have learned, like the Giga casting, that factory will never be as efficient as Tesla's new factory. So Volkswagen should use some of those $50 billion they will invest into EVs to make a whole new factory in Europe that maybe could be done in a couple of years, long before Volkswagen even had a plan for 1 or 1.5 million EVs anyway. And then have a factory that actually has a chance against Tesla. Because as we can see here, Volkswagen doesn't stand a chance against Tesla in Europe if they keep doing what they're already doing. Even Volkswagen have said this in their crisis meeting. And that is not talking EVs against EVs. This is talking Tesla's EVs against all of the Volkswagen brands combined EV and ICE sales. And they think they have a chance of leading the EV race? They don't stand a chance keeping up with Tesla as a car company. That people still think that everyone has a chance against Tesla is kind of crazy. Just wait until Audi comes with their EV sedan. Tesla is done. Now we already have seen Audi come out with their Q4 e-tron SUV, one of the most popular vehicle types in Europe, but it still only sells a fraction of what Tesla's model sells in Europe. So Audi can't even produce enough of them, and that will continue for years to come. No one is keeping up with Tesla in EV growth. Tesla will grow about 350 to 400,000 cars this year alone, just in growth. And we will not see one single car brand produce that many EVs in total in 2021. Yes, Tesla is running faster than anyone else, is speeding up and widening the gap. The others are not closing in. And Tesla is just about to turn on the light of a factory that will make them the biggest car brand Europe has ever seen. And the crazy thing is, at the same time, they're doing the exact same thing in the US by turning on the lights of the Giga Texas. So just like other disruptions, it happens from outside in, and the new players becomes bigger than the old players had ever been. And the even more crazy thing is, Tesla will not stop here. They will build many more factories that are better and more efficient within this decade, when most other guys don't even expect to be at 100% EVs. And the factories Tesla has now will have a combined production capacity about 7 million when fully ramped up, and they will build more. Yeah, the game is already over. Now we just have to watch it play out. And thank you for watching. And until next time, take care out there and be nice.